Hey fellow plant lovers, my name is Melissa. Welcome to my channel. So today I wanted to talk to y'all about how to take care of your first plant baby. So I know a lot of people are just beginning on their plant journey because of the state of the world right now. We are all more indoors than we would probably like to be. And I know a lot of you guys are looking at Instagram, looking at, other influencers' videos and wondering, how do I get my own jungle inside my house? Because I want my own jungle inside my house. And honestly, I get that. I wanted that too. I just have a couple tips and tricks to talk to you about to make sure that when you bring your new plant baby home, that you will not get discouraged and that it will thrive and survive in your care. So when I think about my first plant, I think about that one time in one of those Disney movies, when a certain Disney princess gets a certain cricket and a certain grandma's like, even you can't blow it. That's how I felt watching my first plant video. Even I can't blow it. I would wake up out of a dead sleep and look at my plant and wonder, are you dead? Are you dead now? Are you sure you're not dead? Oh man, I really hope you're not dead. First tip is to just make sure that wherever you place your plant, you know that you can always move it. Just because you put him on your bookshelf, next to your TV, on your windowsill, doesn't necessarily mean that that's where you have to leave your plant. So maybe somewhere in your house has more light than another place in your house. It's okay. Maybe your plant gets a little bit of scorched leaves. Maybe your plant is drooping or browning from overexposure to the sun. It's okay. You can always move your plant. Your plant does not have to stay where it is. And when your plant gets bigger, obviously, you're gonna need to move your plant to a different area in your home to accommodate his new growth. So don't be afraid to move your plant. Another tip for your new plant is to make sure that you're not overwatering your plant. So what I mean by overwatering your plant is that you're watering it once a day, maybe multiple times a day, top watering it above the soil. You don't want to do that. So a lot of people think plants need water and I need to water my plant all the time, just like I need to water myself all the time and stay hydrated. But a lot of plants do not like this. So you will end up prematurely killing your plant from overwatering. A tip that I would give is to bottom water your plant, and I will show you an example of what I mean by bottom watering.
All right, so this right here is my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. So you can see that I have a terracotta saucer underneath his nursery pot. So that is how I bottom water all of my small plants. I just put them on this terracotta pot and I fill it with water. And in about an hour to 2 hours, I check back up on the plant. So if I touch the topsoil here, you can kind of see, and I can very much feel that it is very damp. That's good. You don't want your topsoil to be overly wet and damp. What that's going to do is that's going to attract different types of bugs. So gnats or mealybugs, they are really attracted to damp soil, and what they will do is you can see them on the top of the soil. They'll kind of like bury themselves into your soil and then grow babies. And that's something that you really don't want in your home at all. I know I don't. So I bottom water all of my plants. It helps me just make sure that they're not overwatered, that they're not underwatered. They will take up as much water as they need. So then I'll dump out the excess water and he will be fine. Something that I would recommend to a first-time plant owner is bottom watering your plant. I do it to all of my small plants, and I have not had any kind of issues with them. It's more of my big plants that I have to take in the shower with me that I have a lot of pest issues with.
So another tip that I would give to those first-time plant parents is to not worry too much about your plant. So again, you can always move your plant, you can always stop watering frequently or water more frequently if you see any kind of changes in your plant. If you're somebody that is over worried about your plant, one thing that I do that kind of takes me away from kind of giving my plant too much water, or maybe wondering like, you know, does my plant need to be repotted? Is it time? What's wrong with him? What should I do? Is just cleaning my plant leaves. So I have a lot of dogs and I have a lot of hair. So I tend to go around and just like take some paper towel, a little bit of water, and just kind of like, you know, clean my plant leaves. It's kind of very therapeutic for me to just go around my apartment, clean them, and then that's kind of my way of sort of like babying my plants. That way I am not overwatering or moving them around frequently, or, you know, worrying too much about them. Also doing this, I can check for pests. So looking underneath the leaves, making sure that there's nothing crawling on there, that I'm not missing anything. That way, that's not an extra step that's going to kill my plant in the long run. And something that I would suggest for all of you, check your leaves weekly. So you don't have to water weekly, but checking your leaves weekly is really good. All right, so my last and final tip is to not buy any plant too quickly. So what I mean by that is you have your first plant baby. You're not really sure the care requirements of your plant yet, and you go and buy 5 more plants. That might not be the best thing to do, and here's why. Honestly, when you don't know the requirements of one plant, it kind of keeps hard to keep track of multiple plants at a time. A lot of the time I buy about 1 to 3 plants a month, and sometimes those aren't new species of plants. So they're plants that I'm very comfortable with taking care of, that I don't mind spending the extra money a month on those plants. But if you're a new plant parent, I would not buy too many plants too quickly. It's very overwhelming, you know, to see what kind of requirements, what care requirements. It's a lot to kind of keep up with at once. And also, one last thing, buy small. You don't have to buy that huge pothos at Home Depot for $22. You don't have to buy that very trendy plant for $200 to $300. What you can do is buy a very small version of a plant that you really like and see if you can keep it alive. If you can keep it alive, then sure, try and go for a bigger plant in the future. But make sure that you can take care of a small $4 plant before you upgrade to that $200-$300 plant. So that's it for my tips and tricks for beginner plant parents. So just let me know what you thought below. Be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, leave me a comment. Let me know, what was your first plant when you became a plant parent? And if you are a plant beginner, definitely follow me on my Instagram. It's Peruvian Plant Queen, QW. Message me if you have any plant care questions. If you're a beginner, I would love to help you on your plant journey. Let me know what you thought of this video, and definitely be sure to subscribe. All right, bye.
Say subscribe!